What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out? What you doing out? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? We in these streets.
Yeah, have you been rolling?
Yeah, I'll be rolling. I'll just take out that first part. Because obviously
yeah.
that's personal information.
How's it going, my bro?
I'm good. It's 2023.
Yes, man, bro.
In these streets.
Yes, bro.
Happy New Year.
It's good to be in the studio again, man.
Yeah. I first want to also apologize for the last time that you were here.
What happened?
No, like, that was time before I even launched it, man. That was a time when we recorded that episode, but I was still very green. So, like, the audio and the visual quality wasn't.
But I didn't pick up any issues though, bro.
I did. I did.
I guess you hold yourself to account.
Oh, wait,
the
so...
highest standard.
Oh, yeah, like, I learned a bit on the way, you know, so yeah.
That's cool.
I thank you also for coming on that time when
Yeah,
it
man.
was still fresh.
Yeah, it's cool,
When I
bro.
was still-
Happy always to be, what's the word I'm looking for? What did I say? Proefkonijn.
Oh,
Guinea pig. Guinea pig.
let me get this keyboard just in case we
Yeah.
need to Google some shit. Yeah, last time we couldn't Google shit last time.
I know, yeah, you were still busy getting yourself set up and
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, it's good to be back, bro. I was like actually just trying to rewatch snippets of our last thing because, like I said
No, why
earlier,
you
you know,
watch
I
that?
didn't wanna just to check that I don't repeat myself. Man,
No,
'cause-
even if you repeat yourself, fuck it.
yeah,
Fuck
but I
it,
mean, it's really weird though because like we recorded that about 8-9 months ago.
Is it? Was
Yeah.
it March in the last year?
Well, you posted it 8 months ago, so I think you posted it after about a month.
When did we, was it,
Bro,
did we
what do
record
we-
it February or was it March?
It was around February, March.
Because I think I only
It was
launched,
still warm.
yeah, because I only launched the podcast in April.
Yeah, so we did it before. So you
Yeah.
first launched, I think, 1 or 2, and then I think I was
The
third,
the third episode, yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's weird. What I wanted to say is like, you know, in the 9 months since then, I feel so like I'm a different person. It's
That's
really
good.
weird.
That's
it's
good.
really it's a weird thing. Like I find myself like, you know me, and you know me for years. I've always been like an outspoken kind of a vocal kind of, but I always giving my opinion on everything everywhere. But I think like in the past 9 months, it's really weird. I don't know when the switch flipped, but I feel so like these days I'm mainly like just observing more than what I'm speaking, and like, you know, on any topic I would always like, you know, just give my opinion. But now I feel like I first need to assess my audience before I give my opinion. In terms of like, it depends on the topic, because the thing is, if I'm not really well versed in a certain topic, then what I realized is, instead of me trying to act like a pro in this and that, I realize now that I might be stepping into someone else's world. Like, for example, if I'm talking to you about, like earlier on I was still saying like, you know, how must I sit, how must I go, when are we going to pick this topic up? You might have picked up like a director's type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to come here and act like I'm a director. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
like anyone who speaks about music, or anyone who speaks about sports or politics. I think like I've realized like, and it's really weird because I mean I'm 36 years old, and I mean you would think to yourself like, it's something you'd realize in your 20s that like, you not a know-it-all. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like for myself now, like I'm not a know-it-all of everything. So then I realized like, you know, I've actually gotta be willing to listen more, and actually like ask someone's opinion on something, give my own take on something, but also like post or put up a disclaimer like, look, this isn't my field of expertise. You know what I'm saying? Even in my field of expertise, you know what I mean? I realize that there's still a lot to learn. Because a lot has happened in the last 9 months since we linked up. I mean, like we moved.
Yeah.
I started a new job. I graduated.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
on
bro.
Everything.
Man. Yeah, bro.
Everything.
And I feel like 2022 was actually a blur. I'm still processing 2020. To be honest with you,
Holy
because I feel like
shit.
that was like a big black hole.
Holy
and then
shit.
2021 was like kind of like, oh, it's safe to go outside now, but not yet. Now and then
quite.
you need to go back in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now 2022, when we were finally like able to go out, then it's like I realized like, yo, I finished my studies, got a new job, then we moved, and then the year was over.
Done.
And now we're in 2023, and here we are. You know what I mean?
What happened that you decided to listen or observe more or hold back opinions and assess the situation before speaking?
I don't know what happened.
We can't
like
pinpoint.
I can't recall any bad experience where someone called me out on social media or called me out
Yeah.
online or whatever. I guess like maybe it was my interaction with people who were maybe doing that to me. So for example, like, look, I like to think that I'm well sort of, do I say well? I use that word already. I'm trying to use a better vocabulary for your podcast, bro. But I feel like I have a good sort of baseline knowledge of like music, and particularly like hip hop music, and which producer worked with who and which group came from where, and na. You know what I mean? And who's East Coast, who's West Coast, who's Detroit, who's South. You know, it's like, for example, with American, you know, music. And I feel like I found myself like in a situation or just in a conversation with someone where they were trying to tell me about, you know, oh, Dr. Dre this, or, you know, Snoop this or that. And I knew that they weren't kicking facts. But I didn't want to correct that person, embarrass them in front of people or whatever. Then I'm just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I realized like, okay, cool. Have I been doing that to people?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
you.
like it's sort of like an elevated, I guess, consciousness about
No,
who I
but
speak to.
that's a sign of maturity and EQ, emotional intelligence, and just being more observant and recognizing situations, and also just being a student. Maybe you don't know, and you want to ask questions, and just shutting the fuck up and let that person speak. And then also you can see that person's full of shit also, because the more they speak, you know, the more you can get to know who they are.
back themselves into a corner.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's like that happens to me a lot. Like a lot of people talk, and then I listen and I'm like, man, that's some bullshit.
but at the same time, you know, like sometimes it's not worthwhile. Just getting involved or
Exactly.
giving
Like
your opinion,
like
especially
not-
you're never gonna meet the person again.
Exactly.
Just let them have the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I always like, it's hard for me to assess, because if the person's not open-minded to new ideas, to new ways of thinking, to new possibilities, to new methods, there's no point speaking to this person, because it's gonna go in the one ear, out the other ear, and the person's gonna try to fight you on this and debate you. I was like, I'm not debating you. I'm just giving you some advice, some tips. This is actually how to do it.
Before you know it, you're involved in an ego battle.
Exactly.
Which is
And for
quite,
what?
Quite pointless, yeah.
For what?
I was watching these videos on YouTube called Active Self-Protection. I don't know if you watch it.
Never heard of it.
So basically these guys show you, you know, how to be a responsible gun carrier, or just generally how to like observe a situation to protect yourself and your loved ones or whatever. And I saw a really like disturbing video of where two people were arguing with their neighbor. It's in America, you know, there's snow. The guy was like shoveling snow, and apparently he was shoveling his snow from his property onto their property, and they got into a back and forth screaming match. And then the guy walked in, came out, started shooting at them, like shot the woman, shot the guy. They like surveillance camera caught him.
Shit.
And then he realized his gun is empty, went in, but I came out with a 12 gauge, just walked, shot at close range, shot the guy at close range. He walked into his own house, shot himself.
Wait, what?
Yeah, just because of an
Wait,
ego battle.
wait.
Turns out that guy lost his wife some months before, and he was in a depressive state. And that argument, that ego battle that they were having, triggered the guy.
No
Yeah.
fucking way.
So that's why even on the road, when you're driving, someone cuts you off, just work with the principle that, look, they didn't touch your car, they didn't hit you, just let them go, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And also I realized that it's okay to apologize to people even when you're not wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah,
hey
that's
man,
a big one.
sorry about that.
That's a big
Sorry
one.
about that.
People
You know?
don't. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's an ego thing. People don't like
It's an ego
apologizing.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, you.
But at the
I
same
don't
time,
understand that.
At the same time, when you have like those road rage incidents or any type of rage, it could be like, you could be having a shit day at work. You could be like, you could have been having like some personal issues, some family issues, some wife or girlfriend issues or whatever. Now you're already heightened, you're already aggressive. Now you're still playing DMX in your car. You're driving. You know what I'm saying?
DMX.
And
y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. Like,
Yeah.
people could be harboring some demons from 5
And then
years
suddenly
ago.
someone comes to you and challenges
Yeah.
you on that level, and your aggression is already heightened.
It's already,
So you need to have that awareness of like, bro,
or like you
Just
just left
take
work and
3
they
seconds and
they
breathe.
fired you and
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
You don't know what
Or
the
that
person's going
person
through.
could be going through that.
Exactly.
And you talk some shit to them, and
Yeah.
they're like,
easy.
easy.
I mean,
your life is over.
I think people feel protected because they're in this metal box, and then they think like they're unstoppable, so they can just mouth it. It's the same thing with a keyboard. I mean, with
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, people on Instagram
Yeah.
or Twitter or whatever, Facebook,
Exactly.
then they can talk shit because they're protected behind the screen.
That's why for me, bro, I'm no tough guy. I don't try to be a tough guy.
Yeah.
I say sorry quickly. Even like walking in a shop or in a bar or something.
If
Someone
somebody-
knocks you.
yeah.
Say, sorry, man.
Yeah.
Didn't mean that. Apologize. Or even if you spill someone's, like I think I remember once, it's very vague, but I once spilled someone's drink, or I knocked someone's drink out their hand. And then I'm like, let me get you a new one. Got them 2. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
De-escalated
you
it.
just look for those opportunities
Yes.
to de-escalate as soon as possible. But you may encounter just people who just straight savage.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I mean?
You're always gonna find that 1 or 2 people.
So in that situation, and that's what this thing on YouTube actually taught me, like, you need to, obviously you show you're not a threat, you show your hands. You obviously need to watch their body language, you need to watch their hands if they're reaching for their waist. And you need to keep a safe distance. You don't want to be in someone's direct reach as well. Yeah. I also saw like a very, another disturbing video, and I'll actually forward you the channel, of 2 guys who like got face to face like that, and then the guy was standing like this, and then the one guy had like a knife in his hand, but he was concealing it, and then the guy just came out, slashed him twice. Guy fell there and bled out real quick because that guy didn't keep a distance.
Whoa.
So yeah, this type of thing makes you think of your own behavior, man, and that's why I say to you, in these past 9 months, I'm just trying to work on and being calm and
Just work on yourself.
not reacting. Because look, we moved. Also, that was stressful because on the day of moving, the people moving into our old house came in on the same day.
Oh, you told me this.
And the people where we moving into, they moved out that same day. But where we were moving into, that people's geyser burst. Not in our new house, but
Yes,
in
in
their
their-
new
yes.
place. So that delayed the whole chain.
Fuck.
So then, it was stressful, bro. Yeah. So, I mean, you just try to apply these principles of just like being calm, realizing what is in your control, what isn't. You know what I mean? Look, it's weird. I mean, I mentioned that because, like, have you ever suffered from anxiety of any form? Like, to a point where it really, like, kind of cripples you?
Oh no.
I think I may have.
Really?
I think I may have,
Like
yeah.
cripples you in terms of
Like, in terms of, like, real, like
you can't do anything.
like, yeah, you feel frozen,
Oh,
like, in
nah,
that.
I've never had that.
So I realized, like, when I was in primary school and I started with, when you start writing exams, you like standard 2 or whatever, then you write
yes.
like maths.
Oh yeah.
Or you write like geography or whatever. So now you're in this highly pressured environment. It's now quiet, everyone pencils down, pencils up. And then I would have moments of when like my heart would race and my hands would become sweaty and that. And I feel like my mind gets like foggy and clouded that I can't think of my work. And all I want to do is I just want to stand outside and get some fresh air.
Whoa.
But I never realized that that was anxiety. I just knew I was feeling weird,
Yeah.
right? So I've never been on medication for anxiety, ever. And I mean, me, like when I used to perform on stage or even like with a band and I would play, I'd have like brief moments of like being nervous, but that was never like crippling to me.
Okay.
Because you know I'm performing, so I use that nervousness, I get the energy out.
Yes.
But like when it comes to like standing still, like for example in a crowded shop, you know, in a long line, bro, when I started to feel flustered,
Really?
like crazy. Yeah. So then I realized now I needed to train my mind to like realize, like, look, this isn't like because your body's response to anxiety is like it's feeling threatened. So then I need to sort of think to myself logically, like, why is my brain picking up that the situation is a threat? Do you understand?
I got you.
So then I just try to process things logically. And and I mean, like, look, changing jobs, moving house, finishing a thesis, you know, it can become a lot, like mentally. And I haven't been diagnosed with any kind of mental health sort of situation or whatever, but I do feel like I get heightened anxiety, you know, and my consumption of coffee doesn't help the situation.
I realized, like, I was
You get like edgy and like
like, I've never had it that bad, but I think when you talk about anxiety and symptoms of anxiety, like I kind of picked up, I don't know if it's this is part of it, but I started noticing that whenever I get extremely nervous, or then my speech impediment really comes out. So I don't know if that, like, the anxiety
you have a
comes
speech
out.
impediment?
Oh yeah, stutter.
Really?
I'd
never seen it.
Oh no, it's
that's
there.
cool.
It's there.
Very
So
interesting.
I think the more I started noticing that and realizing that, I started speaking better. Then I think, I don't know. I
That's
don't
true.
know.
Yeah. You have to be
I don't
aware
know.
of it, and also, like, you know, you make people aware of it as well.
No, I don't like making people.
Oh, you
aware
don't?
of it.
Okay.
No, I don't. I don't like that. Because like, then people wait for you to stutter. You know what I'm saying? Then
True, yeah.
they
It's
look
like
at you
me-
like that.
Me telling people I'm diabetic, it's like, hey, by the way, I'm type 1 diabetic. Now they're waiting for me to collapse.
Or to use your insulin. Or
Right? I actually just took a shot now before we started.
oh, I didn't see. Oh, yeah, I was in the toilet.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
man, I don't worry. I mean, I speak about my diabetes openly, you know me. That's one thing that I'm still vocal about,
Yes.
because I mean, I live it every day. And I don't like check anyone on the ignorance with it. Instead, I try to help them. You know, like, they'll be like, oh, how did you get type 1 diabetes? Did you eat cake? Did you drink a lot of Coke when you were younger?
And that's a misconception everybody's. I mean, before that podcast the last time, I still had that misconception about it's
Autoimmune.
bad diet. I didn't know it's autoimmune disease. I didn't know. I just thought it's type 2 and then escalates to type 1, but I didn't know it's autoimmune response. I had no idea until last time.
Basically, your body, I did say this last time, but basically your body just goes rogue on itself. Your body's defense system that mistakes, you know, certain cells in your body, especially the beta cells, for being an intruder, and then just your body turns on itself and then kills off the beta cells. Now you can't produce insulin. Bah, diabetic.
Heavy.
Yeah.
I like, okay, at this question now, but there was I don't know, when is World Diabetes Day?
World Diabetes Day is the 14th of November.
14 November.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, I was gatvol that day, bro.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Gatvol of you.
Why were you
Diabetes.
gatvol?
The thing is, I think like at that time I
'Cause
was like in a shit space with
Because
diabetes.
I was checking your stories now, and
It's
I was
like, I do not give a fuck about World Diabetes Day.
and I was, and I laughed, man, and I messaged you. I was like, bro, are you okay?
Yeah, you're like, are you okay? But you know what? I actually got a few responses to that, a few Me Too responses from diabetics.
What?
Yeah. So look, the thing is, man, when someone's having a shit run with diabetes, the last thing you want to see is someone being all happy-go-lucky about their diabetes. And now they're posting their readings, and it's like, oh, such perfect readings. You know, you just want to be perfect and all of that. And then you like looking at your shit readings, you're stuck on 15, 16. You know, no matter how much shots you're taking, it's not coming down. But yeah, I guess I was just in a different headspace then, you know. And it was close to move day also.
Oh yeah,
So
that's true.
I was quite...
But like, what do you feel about? Okay, those are the people that have diabetes now. They're both posting readings. But what do you feel about the people that don't have diabetes and they're just posting, it's World Diabetes Day. Take care of yourself and blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
that's cool.
Is
That's
that
cool?
cool?
Yeah,
Okay.
just sometimes, you know, there's this concept of toxic positivity. You know.
Explain.
So, for example, someone's being happy all the time. It's too much, that to a point where they're not being realistic about it, man. Because the thing is,
got you.
like,
Okay.
for example, I mean, I had this conversation with a fellow diabetic buddy from the UK, and he was saying, like, look, you know, what gets him is like, how can people who are type 1 diabetic go up and they're like, oh yeah, I'm thankful for my diabetes because of this. I mean, while they might feel that way, it's like that's all they're putting out there. It's like, you know, oh, you know, happy I'm diabetic because of this. It's like, look, type 1 diabetes is crappy. It's really shit. It can be crippling and it's disruptive, right? And you need to sort of like, or those influencers, I hate that word, but you know, who post about it a lot, they need to sort of expose both sides of the coin. You can't just paint this picture perfect thing, because if you're a person in a position of influence in the diabetic community, then other diabetics who are having a shit time with their diabetes, then they would think there's something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? But if you're putting like your bad days and your good days out there, then that actually helps people to feel like they're not alone.
Not alone, yes.
You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
that.
Yeah.
I get that.
So if you're just happy all the time and putting up
Yeah.
perfect readings, because there are people out there who just select the good readings.
But
I know for a fact that it can't stay like that all the time.
you can't maintain a perfect reading.
You cannot.
Okay. But, okay. That's...
It's possible.
Look,
but
there is a good thing about putting a positive on a bad spin. I get that, but I understand what you're saying. These people out there that never post their bad readings.
Yeah, I know.
Never. Also, like, I was thinking about this, like, when I just pulled up here. You eat certain foods, right, that obviously affect your readings negatively, right? Okay, now, wouldn't it just be better not to indulge in those things to maintain a better reading throughout?
That's true. So a lot of people follow the low carb lifestyle. Like, look, I don't, for two reasons. Like, A, it's very expensive to buy those low carb rolls or buns or bread or whatever.
No, okay,
right?
Go ahead.
And the other thing is, like, you still need to live. You still need to live normally, because the thing is, if you're gonna completely stay away from like chocolates or sweets or cake or, you know, even bread, you know, then you're gonna lose your mind at the end of the day, and you're gonna go into a thing what you call diabetic burnout, because you're depriving yourself from like the simple pleasures in life. You can still do it, but obviously, you know, in moderation. You need to know how much insulin you need for like a cupcake or a muffin or whatever. But some people do follow that, and it is a bit better to do that because you would be using less insulin. So the more insulin you use, so let's say for example, I want to eat 4 slices of bread right now, right? Then I have to take a gang of insulin.
Holy
and
shit.
that can, and the thing is, if you miscalculate, you can either go down too fast, or if you take too little, you'll be very high, so that room for error is bigger.
Do you have like a calculator that works out, I'm going to eat this now, so when I eat this, I need X amount of insulin?
Yeah, so everyone works like on an insulin to carb ratio.
Okay.
So, and that varies from person to person.
Is that an app or?
No, you basically kind of figure it out for yourself
You
through
have to
trial
work
and
through
error,
it,
and you
okay.
work with your doctor. And
Okay.
So mine is 1 unit, right, for every 3 grams. So I would actually, mine is...
Every 3 grams of
No,
carbs.
I'm lying. 3 units of insulin,
Yeah.
right, for 15 grams
Of carbs.
of carbs, yeah, so 1 to 5.
Does it matter if it's like, let's say that's bread now, or it's, let's say, brown rice? Does it matter? Is the 15 grams 15 grams?
Yeah, so 15 grams of carbs is the same, but the
okay.
glycemic index of something might differ.
Yes.
Meaning you may have to just inject your insulin a bit longer before the time. And certain insulins work where you can take it just as you're about to eat. Or even like while you're eating, it's like, oh shit, I forgot to inject. You know what I mean?
Shit. So you actually got to take it before to prevent that?
Kind of like to prevent yourself from shooting up too high. Yeah.
That's,
yeah.
wow.
You call it pre-bolusing.
So you
Yeah.
test yourself before the meal, And you test yourself after the meal.
Yeah, so like 2 hours after or so, yeah.
Just to make sure.
Yeah. So like to get back to your original question, right? So your insulin to carb ratio. So 15 grams of carbs would be like a slice of bread, like one slice of bread with nothing on. And then I would usually take 3 units. If I know I'm gonna put peanut butter on, then I'll take 4 units. Just to ensure that I don't shoot up too much.
Okay. Now those glycemic indexes, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it's 15 grams of carbs for a slice of bread, right?
Low GI or whatever.
Yeah. What if I have a piece of chicken with that? Wouldn't that bring that glycemic index down?
Yes, but I'm speaking under correction because I'm not a dietitian. But from what I hear is like if you do sort of certain macros and things like that, right? If you do combine them, then it kind of lowers the glycemic index. I think it's something to do like with fat. If you add a fat with a carb, or I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
Like I said earlier,
But
not my area of expertise.
Yeah. But it does make a difference if you have like
does.
protein or fats.
Exactly.
With it.
Actually, like preferably you should like have like your carb with the protein. But I usually have it like with either peanut butter or even like with Evo. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
And that stabilizes.
Yeah,
more
that
or
could
less.
make a difference.
Okay. Now, with regards to you say it's expensive, right? The low carb breads and
Yeah.
stuff, right? I get that, right? Can't you just like not have those things? You know,
Yeah, so what I do
just have
is
vegetables and fats and protein.
look, I could, but your body still needs carbs for energy. Like
Is it?
I guess your body could make from the fats. You know what I mean? Like your nuts and your seeds and peanut butters or whatever. But what I do is I kind of like split my carb sources. So I will look oats in the morning. There's like carbs in it,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah. So I'll have my oats, but then I'll also have 3 eggs with it, and then also with lunch I might then do like 3 pieces of chicken and like a green salad.
Okay.
So then I have no carbs with it.
Okay.
You understand? And then supper time I'll have my carb again
Okay.
to help sustain me through the night.
What is the latest you'll have those carbs before you go to bed? Like how many hours before bedtime is that?
Man, I'd probably check myself like just as I'm about to sleep. So then I'll make sure like about like an hour and a half before I sleep,
Okay.
I'll have something, yeah. Because look, I got a high metabolism, bro. And
That's the
I get
thing.
hungry, like, real quick, and that's tricky.
That's the thing. Me as well. Like if I eat 2 hours before bedtime,
You nibble again.
I'm gonna like, bro. Like I'm not gonna sleep right through. I'm gonna wake up after half an hour.
Yeah.
And my body's gonna say
Stomach's
feed
burning,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
and I would rather
But you generally, like, limit your carbs?
not really. Like I'd have carbs in the morning before training. I'll have carbs.
Yeah.
Again after, like I'll have carbs throughout the day. Like all my meals have carbs.
Oh, yeah, because you're highly active, so your body's always burning.
Yeah, like the last meal before I go to bed, that's a high fat meal, but no carbs then. So it's protein, it's fats. That's basically my last meal. Yeah. So
Yeah, what you could also look at is, you see these carb cleaver stuff that Woolies has? So it's basically like a seed bar. And you can just eat that, yeah. It wouldn't like, is it half an hour?
Not
You need
yet.
to- Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got the seed bar thing, and then it's got like usually like a very low glycemic index.
Okay.
But it actually does sustain you. It keeps you,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Keeps you full without the impact of like raising your blood sugar too much.
Okay.
Because I know like your sort of main thing is like staying away from foods that spike your blood sugar, because that's how you store fat and that's how you gain weight.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So for me it's the same thing, but I'm not like too concerned about like the weight gain, but I'm concerned about the blood sugar
The
spike.
health aspect of it.
Exactly, because I don't have insulin in my body to just like, randomly self-correct my blood sugar.
Yeah.
I have to do it manually.
Yes.
So yeah, so those seed bars really help. And even if you just break it and like eat half, like just as you're about to sleep, it'll actually sustain you.
Let me just get this. Okay, so I've been on this journey like recently.
Are you recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
cool.
I've been on this journey recently where I've been eliminating any artificial foods, like even like whey protein. I don't even drink whey protein anymore. I'm just trying to eat things that are
Yeah.
really just from the earth. like like this is one thing I picked up. Like I stopped drinking whey protein, and then like for 2 weeks, there's nothing. And this is after years of drinking it every fucking day, mostly every fucking day. And then one day I went to the mountain. I was like, okay, fine, fuck it. I'm just gonna have a protein shake when I'm on the mountain because quick and convenient. I don't have time to prep anything now.
Yeah.
And that one day, fuck, my body just rejected it. My stomach was cramping. I was bloated. My body didn't understand this foreign entity, even though it's like it's been using it since Van Riebeek was here.
Yeah.
And it just shows you like my body was rejecting it all this time. I didn't like it, but it just got used to it. But after that day, I've never had it.
But it
again.
just shows you don't even need it. You never needed
Exactly.
it.
I never needed it.
I think it's more like the placebo, I guess, for some people.
And there's bro science. There's bro science. Bro, you gotta have whey protein if you want muscles, bro.
Oh,
all that bullshit.
Yeah. No, there's nothing better than natural, man. I mean, look, for me, I don't do any of those shakes. Like, I don't even do because you get like all sorts of stuff, the vegan, grass-fed, whatever, plant-based, this, that. So like for me, it's like, I stay away from it because of the impact that it might have on my kidneys. Because diabetics are 25 times more at risk for kidney disease.
Holy shit.
Yeah. High sugars, any unprocessed stuff, artificial things, it all gets flushed out through your kidneys. So that's why I stay away from it. And that's why it's hard for me to build muscle because I can't keep packing on stuff, and building muscle also involves keeping your sugar in range for optimal, absorption, and
that's true
for your body to.
What is your sugar like after you train?
Man, I drop it.
Completely.
I drop. Yeah, but not like severely because I need to be smart about it. So if I know I'm gonna have a session, then I need to ensure that the last time I took insulin was 3 or 4 hours before then, because if I'm gonna take my insulin, I'm gonna become extra insulin sensitive and then I'm gonna drop.
Holy shit.
So I need to, and especially post workout. So after straight after the workout, I'll pop open something sugary, or even one of those jungle oats bars, so at least I'm eating oats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
and
so
yogurt coated, but hey, I need the sugar.
So immediately afterwards you would have sugar.
Yeah, I do that. Obviously, depending on where I am.
Must something as be increased, immensely high in sugar, or can it be like a
just
fruit?
Slightly. It could be a fruit as well. Yeah, bananas are good or whatever. But I find with bananas, it doesn't sustain me. No. It's really weird. Yeah, bananas is a weird thing. You can ask any type 1 diabetic. There's certain days when bananas just spike your sugar.
Yeah.
And then there's other days where bananas actually doesn't really have an effect.
No.
Then you end up taking insulin with a banana, and then you end up going low. It's was the banana not supposed to help keep my sugar stable? It's really weird.
That's weird.
It's a weird thing. Yeah, but I'll have something sort of like a oats bar, with a light sugar coating.
Have you tried honey?
Honey? Yeah, but honey I usually take when I'm low, man. It spikes me too much.
Is it?
Yeah. Honey is a lot of people say oh yeah, you gotta have honey in your tea except for sugar, but man, sweetness is sweetness, whether it's natural or whether it's refined.
Do you have is it the honey you buy from the store? Pick and Pay or something?
Could be like that. It could be the raw honey. I've tried them all, man.
You tried the raw honey?
I tried them. Yeah.
I recently bought raw honey from a beekeeper.
It's expensive, bro.
The one, okay, I got, how much did I pay for it? I can't remember, but it works out cheaper than what I bought from the store. Yeah.
You bought directly from the supplier.
Yeah. It wasn't from a big commercial company. It was this guy who has a he's a beekeeper.
That's cool. Yeah, I know I've tried that, but I mean, honey is honey, and I think that's why, I think a lot of people also with the brown rice and the white rice. I mean, there was even some guy on YouTube, also type 1 diabetic, was using a monitor, and he's this is how much white rice I'm having, this is how much brown rice I'm having, and then he did the test on 2 different days, and it raised the sugar by the same.
Really?
Yeah.
So brown rice didn't even have this low glycemic effect.
Right. It
really?
raised it the same, yeah.
So I can eat white rice and have the
same
same
thing with
effect.
potatoes and sweet potatoes. Same.
Don't talk cut.
So potatoes are more delicious, so I eat potatoes.
Are you for real?
Yeah, bro.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I always.
And
Yo,
remember, I have the tech to monitor.
that's the thing.
You could actually, you know what? You could actually purchase you one of those things if you've got like 990 laying around somewhere, and you can monitor yourself because athletes do it. Non-diabetics wear these sensors. There's like a lot of hoo-ha, and you know, in the diabetes world, like, oh, how can a guy wear a continuous glucose monitor if he's not even diabetic? But I mean, if he wants to monitor his sugar and get his optimum performance, then there's nothing wrong with it.
And maybe it's also to prevent possible going into a like type 2
Yeah.
diabetes state.
Yeah,
because,
true, especially if you're like on that borderline.
Yeah, I mean, prevention is better than cure, right?
Exactly. But I mean, if you want to see, like, you know, if you're training and you want to see how stable your glucose is, if you're running a marathon and you're running like 2-3 hours,
Yes.
you want to see what your sugar did in that time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And at which points do you drop?
Like for me, like I always like that's why I asked you like, post workout. What's your sugar like post workout? Because I always heard, you know, you gotta have some sugar post workout because your glycemic stores are depleted.
So look at that. That also depends on what you're training, because if you're just doing a bunch of cardio, then you might start dropping midway.
Okay.
And if you're training weights, so now you've got this intensity, you know, you're pushing, you're doing 4 sets of like 25s and all of that, then your body builds up adrenaline. And that can also raise your blood sugar. So lots of guys I've seen, they inject like 1 unit or 2 units or so, depending on their need, before they work out, because they know they're going to get a spike in the sugar. So that just curbs that spike.
And wouldn't
But that doesn't work for me, bro. I drop. Yeah, man, maybe I'm not training hard enough.
get that adrenaline.
Yeah, exactly.
Get that pump
So,
going.
yeah, so I mean, look, it all depends, you know, on your need and how what type of workout you're doing. I wanted to tell you something. So when we're moving, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you're walking around in your own house, you're packing up the last bits of things, you're putting it in boxes, you're moving it to the front, you're loading it, you're walking here, you're walking in the house. I did 13,000 steps in that small house in Kilsriver.
13,000.
13,000, and get this right. So I had such bad food that day because look, all our plates were packed up. There was nothing. There was no food there, anything.
So you just had like
Bro,
fast food.
I ate a McDonald's burger at 11 in the morning. At 3 in the afternoon, I ate KFC.
What?
The evening, right? The evening, I felt my body fighting to keep my sugar up. So even though I ate McDonald's, I ate KFC because of that 13,000 steps up and down and lifting boxes and picking up things, I actually had to eat that type of bad food to keep my sugar on a level.
Shit.
Yeah, to keep my sugar on a level. It was crazy, bro.
Whoa.
So yeah, that's like how exercise impacts on you.
Yo, that's heavy. But that also just shows you how important exercise is, right?
It is. It's paramount, bro.
Yo.
It's paramount. And I told you I only had 2 sessions this year, but the year's my off to a shit start, but I can get better.
You posted like, I don't know when it was, but I think it was in your story also about the post-festive season, the effects of the festive season had on your sugar levels. Like, it was elevated like crazy. Really? Yeah. Did you indulge a lot? Yeah, pretty much, man. But look, it wasn't like bad food. But I think like at the same time, maybe I was stressing a bit to get the place like ready. Because, you know, we just moved in. So there were certain things like, I know there was like a pipe at the back of the house. It was faulty. And got the plumber in for that. I had to do like other runs and things like that. So that, I guess, like elevated my stress levels a bit. And also I was pushing at work to finish off certain things before the December break. Okay. So I think my body was just resistant to insulin. And also I was inactive in the festive season. So, you know, even a simple thing like eating a slice of toast with peanut butter, I took my required insulin for it. But it's almost like my body wasn't very receptive to the insulin. Just a few things. I hope I'm going to remember these 2 things. No, it's cool. Firstly, with regards to exercise now, wouldn't it be better just to train every day? It would be. Even just for half an hour in the mornings, maybe. Supposed to, bro.
but I don't know. I'm out of excuses, man.
I'm just
like-
thinking like if you want like because
Yeah.
I don't know how hard it is, but you
It really helps.
of what you've been
Yeah.
telling me, you know, like the struggle
13,000
with regards to
steps, yeah.
type 1, it's insane, and
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what you must go through every day. So wouldn't like exercise just make it that much better? You experience like
No,
every
definitely.
day.
I definitely would, and I mean, like I'm kind of like attempting to making it like a non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth,
Yeah.
showering daily. And I mean, like, look, 30 minutes a day is nothing, bro. I mean, I think people spend more time watching TV.
Or scrolling on social media.
Exactly, you know. So I'm also like, I've been thinking a lot about it. Like I said, you know, since the last podcast, like trying to see, like, look, I can't control the fact that I have diabetes. It's not gonna go anywhere. But it's like I can do certain things to make my quality of life better.
Yeah.
And also, it's not even just about how I feel now. It's how I'm gonna be in 20 years.
That's the thing. It's
You
all
know what I
about
mean? 20, 30
longevity.
years, yeah. I mean, I see people like my one uncle, and there's one uncle also, like, it's the complications are starting to get him now. You know?
Really?
Yeah, on dialysis, and
Holy shit.
my uncle lost his leg, shit like that. So it's like, you know, it's a lot to
Really?
think about, yeah. Because you don't just want to live, you want to live well. You want to thrive.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
For
You don't
as
just want to
long as you
survive.
fucking can.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, look, I'm
Shit.
like, I'm not super fit,
Is he
but
type
I've got
1,
a
your uncle?
yeah, my uncle's type 1 or
Is
so.
it?
Yeah.
Shit.
So, no, but I think he started out as type 2.
Oh, then he
I think he had
escalated.
bars, but I'm speaking under correction though. He
Like,
might have
you-
had it
you-
since he was a kid. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people that have type 2 and they're like, fuck it, whatever, and they go about it like nothing, and then they escalate to type 1, and then they're still like half about it, like you know.
Because they're like,
They
they're
don't- there's
not
no
on
life-
insulin yet, man, so they don't feel the immediate effects. Because you know,
Okay.
if you don't really keep an eye on it and you're on insulin, you can go low and find yourself in a shit situation. Imagine you up Table Mountain, you're like right on top, there's no one with you.
Bro.
And suddenly you get a low and you pass out, no one finds you.
Bro, that almost happened to me, bro.
Yeah, you
That
need
almost
to
happened
eat,
to me.
bro.
I didn't have sugar that day.
Yeah.
And I the moment somebody gave me an orange, like I felt like Superman.
Life saving.
I felt like Superman. I was running like there was a time when
Yeah.
I was like I felt like I couldn't make it off the mountain. I was
Yeah.
struggling for balance. I was
You
confused.
woozy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna
Now that
fall
can
off.
happen to me quickly. Can happen to me like if I eat a meal at 12 now, before 2 p.m., 2 hours later, if I inject too much, that can happen to me within that 2 hours.
Shit.
You see? So that kind of
Yeah.
feeling, it's scary.
Let's
Yeah.
do that. That was
I think
kinda
that's
scary.
I think that's actually contributed to my anxiety as well. Because now I've got to deal like with these normal life situations, you know, you're
Yes.
paying bills, you're working, and all
Yeah.
of that, and now you still throw diabetes in the mix, yeah.
I wanted to ask you, like,
Yeah.
the stress factor and anxiety. How does that play a part in being insulin resistant? Like,
No, big time. You stay
Really?
high. Yeah, it's like insulin becomes water.
Is
It
it-
doesn't even work.
Really? Holy
Yeah.
shit.
It can have serious like mental health, you know, and I think it's a good time to talk about like more mental health stuff because two guys that I actually know, well, a girl and a guy, they both attempted suicide. Like it was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, like over like one guy now just after Christmas, and then
Diabetics?
Yeah, diabetic also, and then another guy. No, the girl I think earlier in last year, yeah. So it's like hectic because the thing is like I think they already had underlying mental health conditions. Now if you throw diabetes in the mix, it just makes it even worse to manage.
Did you find out what the reason was? It because it was just too much for them
Look,
being a diabetic?
yeah, the
or-
guy's bipolar, and this isn't the first time he attempted suicide. You know what I'm saying? So what he did was he took his insulin pen and he like overdosed. He just injected himself and just like, and then he had to be in hospital for like 3 or 4 days. Luckily, someone found him. I don't exactly know all the details. I didn't ask him all the details yet.
Was it the case of actually intentionally committing suicide?
Yeah.
Or was it like
Yeah, he
he forgot how much he...
No,
Oh,
he purposefully did
is
it.
it?
Yeah, it's crazy, and that's the thing. Like you gotta think to yourself, right? So these doctors and pharmaceutical companies that make all these insulins available to people, like how do you control that? Because like how much of the responsibility is on them to actually properly assess the patient and be like, look, this guy's got a history of suicide or whatever. He can't. How do they control how he manages his insulin? Does he need supervision? Or do you just like, oh, here's 5 insulin pens?
Yeah, doctors
You
doesn't
know what
even,
I mean?
Yeah,
And
like
they could inject all 5 into themselves.
doctors don't look at the mental aspect of it. They just see, okay, he's got diabetes, being diagnosed. Yeah, what you must take.
And it's probably worse in the public health space.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I wonder how many doctors actually ask you what your diet like as well. Like, you know, don't like at least recommend to you, don't eat this, stay away from this, try eating more of this.
Yeah. No, it's hectic. It's a hectic thing, bro. Like just managing just like your diabetes and that. Yeah, I plan not to talk so much about diabetes, but it really is my whole life.
Dude, I don't fucking mind. And I'm sure the people watching out there in the streets, the millions and millions of people out there is gonna, like, I know the last podcast we had, right? You know how many people actually said, yo, like, respect on that episode, like, they learned a lot of information from that. And even people who are not diabetic, they actually took something away from that, man.
Yeah, that's cool, though.
So like I don't mind speaking about it, as long as we give information.
I like sharing like my stories, and you know, I wouldn't say like I like to offer advice, because like everyone's diabetes is different.
Of course.
You know, but there's certain staple things you need to do as a diabetic, which I think is like you need to check your sugar regularly.
Exercise.
You do need to. Oh, bro.
Sorry, I got this bad cough here.
I need to get myself together in 2023. So there's exercising, and then also, you know, well, eat correctly as far as you can. You know, we all gotta live. I'm not judging anyone if they're posting milkshakes or they're posting McDonald's or KFC.
Oh, I get it,
it's
like
damn delicious.
No, for sure. I get it, like
Gatsby. You're going around checking out all the Gatsbys in town.
Because like I fucking like I know what it's like to be on an extremely low carb diet, and you fucking lose your mind.
You were hungry. Huh?
Yes, you're hungry, bro. You like your mind, it just starts racing for no reason. It's like you don't have this calm aspect.
Something's flashing, bro.
Oh, it's that light.
Oh, okay, cool.
It will stabilize.
Okay,
like you lose your mind. I've been on carbs. I've been on months of no cheat meals. You know, you feel it. You
and
feel
get this right. So then, when someone does put a burger and chips before your, like when you're doing that, it's like gobble it up.
Yeah, like when you do have your cheat meal, like yo, bro,
you go all out,
and you appreciate that shit, like shit, crazy. So I get it. Like it's more of a mental thing. Wait, things are bothering me now. Oh, wait, hold up.
Man in his gender roles.
Okay, wait. So we just fix that light. We just fixed that light. So
okay, cool.
I'm okay.
You were saying you follow the serious like low carb thing. And
and so I get
binge.
the cheat meal aspect. I get like, because I mean these days I have. The thing is, I don't even crave cheat meals anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll have like a cheat meal. Like it won't even be a cheat meal. It will just be like, what I can't even think of what I have. But like maybe it's like a biscuit or something.
Oh, okay.
Just something different, so my body can just break from
process
that.
the sugar.
But like I'll be like half of the biscuit, and then I'll be like, I don't feel like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro,
No.
I can't stop once I start with the biscuits.
And then I just toss it out. It's a different thing if I feel like eating it. But if I don't, then I'm like, why am I eating this cack? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Look, the thing is, if you want to get off like eating like especially bad sugars, then you have to, I think, go like through like 2 or 3 weeks of like not having it. I wouldn't say like completely cutting it out. You are recording.
Yeah, we are recording.
Okay. Of like completely cutting it out, but I think like in terms of get your sugar from like other more healthier sources. You know what I'm saying? Get like your sugar. Fructose or whatever you call it, you know, from your fruits or
what
whatever.
I do like I won't even consider this a cheat. Like I'll have, you know, Lindt. There's a 99% cacao chocolate.
Yo, yes, like pure bitterness.
That
right
I love that, dude.
Really, I like the 70% one.
Is it? Nah, the 99% it gets my sugar fix. It's enough for me.
Is it? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I enjoy
really
that.
don't like sugar. I'm
I
the worst
don't.
diabetic on earth, bro.
Like, dude, like if somebody has sugar in their coffee, let's say they come over and have sugar in coffee, I can smell that sugar. Like it hits me. It hits me like sure. I was like,
You
sure.
really hate it then, yeah.
I don't hate it. No. Don't get me
it's a
wrong.
strong word.
Yeah, cause like I know what it does. I know it's bad for me, but I also do value the aspect I can cheat And like, let's say I want a Gatsby, or I want like a proper chocolate, or chocolate ice cream, or I do value the or chocolate brownie. Like, I love fucking chocolate brownies.
Yeah, it's good.
And I put peanut butter on there, and
It's so good, man.
it's so good, bro. So I
love it
I do value the treats, basically.
Yeah, but there's certain like treats that I like 100% stay away from, and I can see like like you said, like the brownies and that these really dense things, man. That's like concentrated sugar.
Yes.
And the weird thing is, like, it might not taste very sweet, but that sugar's there, bro. Just like with wine. Just like with wine, that's why I quit all alcohol. Like,
does alcohol have a big impact?
Alcohol's intense though. Like,
Even though you don't chase it with any cool drink or anything.
Yeah, so look, if you have a lot of alcohol in your blood, right, and you type 1 diabetic, it's gonna make your insulin sensitivity like peak. You might, like, depending on what you're drinking, your sugar might go up, and then like when you wake up the next day, you're like shaky and you're shivering.
Holy shit.
So when I used to drink, and I would just like, even if I drink like 3 or 4 beers, right, the night before when I go to bed, and I test my sugar and it's high, like let's say it's 12 or 13 from all the beer drinking, then I know already when I wake up, I'm gonna be like on 3 or 2. And I'm supposed to be like above 4.5, right? So then I'll already prepare. So then I have a bar one in front of the bed while I have Super C, or even like a juice or a can of Coke. So then when I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, I'm jittery.
Instead of that, can't you have like a fruit?
The thing is, the fruit might take too long to work.
So
you want something to work quickly,
and
then you'll eat maybe like a banana, or like even like bread and cheese, just to sort of keep you there. Because if you shoot yourself up, you crash down again.
Wow.
With simple sugars,
Sure, man.
So yeah, man, it's intense. Listen, man, I actually wanted to just change the topic, because you're speaking about like, how you live alone, you cook. You do all your cleaning, all of that stuff, and we were joking about the toilet seat being upright. So I'm thinking to myself, like, when a woman does eventually move in here, then
what are you talking about?
I was thinking, I don't know, it was weird. I was just thinking of like the topic of gender roles, like this morning, and total 180 away now from diabetes, but I was just thinking to myself now, because when I moved in with Heather, right, when we got married, then I did certain things, like at home, like I would like iron my own shirts and all of that, but I didn't make food. Right. So now,
did you make food before meeting her, before living with her?
Before living with her,
Yeah.
no, like simple things that like you can fry, like bacon, egg, sausage, burgers,
but not like
whatever.
a cooked meal.
Not like a meal, right?
Yeah.
So now I realize that is the one area where that's the one area that I still need to improve. Because look, I don't have an issue with sweeping the house. I don't have an issue with doing washing or ironing or doing the dishes or whatever. You know what I mean? But I do need to work, I guess, on the cooking skills. Because the reason I'm bringing it up is because, like, when a woman does move in with you, it's like you've already got. Yeah. When.
Hold on.
Speaking into the universe.
Fuck. Hold on. I like my own space, but anyway, go on.
Yeah, you see, we will touch on that now. Right? So, like, you've basically already been trained in all those aspects or spheres of, like, cleaning the house. So I think like the right woman would appreciate that. Not to say that those are even a woman's role anymore.
Yes.
Because it's weird though, because I still said I wanted to chat about this Andrew Tate dude.
Okay.
And yeah, I see a lot of guys actually like, look, certain things he brings up, I can't really recall now, he did kind of like, I guess, touch on some sensible topics, but one thing I can't, I guess, let slide is that, like I was watching an interview where he said like, oh, society's changing, the man isn't taking the traditional role of the man anymore, and the woman's not taking the traditional role, she's challenging the man, she's not being a good wife by, honoring him and respecting him and, things like that. But that kind of shit gets under my skin, bro, because I feel like I feel like it's an equal society. And if I could, I would then, like, if two people were competing for the same role, and that role was traditionally a man's role, I would then back the woman to go into that at all, because I still feel like women in positions of authority, I feel like they still have to work twice as hard to be taken seriously. And hopefully, there are some out there that agree with me with that. But like in terms of what I've observed, I mean, I've seen men in certain roles, they walk into the room, or maybe a man in a lower role, right? And the woman's maybe the boss, and you're meeting with people from like a different department or a different company. Now you have this meeting or whatever, right? And then the guy walks through and they're like, oh, are you because it's a man.
Oh, so
you know what I'm saying? So now they assume this guy is now the boss.
I got you.
And then the woman comes through, it's like, oh, are you going to be taking notes? It's like, no, I'm the CEO. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of men's minds are still wired like that. And I mean, for myself also, like, I would say only in like the past 2 or 3 years, I've started to like wire my mind differently. To focus more on that and to be more conscious of that, because I've seen like I've had like 3 female bosses in a row, and they work extremely hard, they're brilliant at what they do, they have the qualifications, but I still feel like, when we meeting with like other departments, other government departments or whatever, and they're speaking, whatever, I feel like some of the men in the room don't give them a proper hearing or take them seriously.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Do they like talk over them or?
Yeah, like that, or like they really have to like make a case for like what they're suggesting. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas a guy with no qualification, he says, oh yeah, can we do that? Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. That kind of thing like gets to me. You know what I mean? And I guess that's also why, like, I've had male and female bosses, and that's why when I've worked with female bosses, I feel like they're more open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I guess for them, there's also like a lot at stake.
They still have that point to prove that I belong here,
or maybe they feel like, they have to work extra hard just to get recognized, and I mean, that's like in the corporate world. So now back to the household, where a lot of people think like sweeping, washing, ironing is a woman's job, but it's not, bro. I believe in an equal society.
Yeah, I believe in you clean, I clean, you iron, I iron. You wash dishes, I wash dishes.
That's why I was saying, this Andrew Tate, man, bro. Like I think a lot of guys also like, I guess, participate in like mixed martial arts and those types of things, because he was a previous fighter,
he was a world champion kickboxer,
or kickboxer, right? Or something like that. So I think a lot of people also like hang on to every word that he says, or maybe his opinions also feed their misogyny. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've noticed that, because a couple of Owens that I've seen, they post this guy and what he says and stuff like he's God. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to get that out my system.
Okay.
I just... Yeah. But you see he's on trial now for human trafficking.
I saw that. I saw a few days ago. I saw something about it. Yeah. I don't know all the details.
Yeah, me either, man.
I don't know if it's...
But he has a very cocky body language.
Definitely, I can pick that up. But I don't know if it's true. I don't know if Romania is just making up some shit so they can hold this bro accountable, or to silence him completely and to threaten him. I don't know. It's just weird that he would be so in the public eye with all that... with all that shit that he might be doing. I just think it's weird that...
But maybe, I don't know, man, for me, it's like, I watched like a short thing of like his upbringing, and it seemed quite broken, so maybe he's still dealing with a lot of like boyhood issues.
I only like knew about him or heard about him when he got cancelled. Somebody told me about him. So I started to research. I checked some videos of him and stuff. That's it. But I didn't.
Could also be controversial, where you're just trying to get attention, because nothing brings attention to you like being controversial.
The thing is also, we need to take into account that a lot of what people say, not just him but everyone, can be taken out of context. Like you get this TikTok or this quick videos, they take like 15 seconds from a long fucking conversation, and then they just post what they think might get a rise out of people, and that blows
That's
up.
true, though.
A lot that happens, not just him. There's a lot of people in the public eye
Very
that
true.
mean good. Even Joe Rogan, like, I mean, there's a lot of things that he says that people take out of context, but he gave this comprehensive answer.
I didn't
and then
even know
just
he
take
was a
out-
fighter, before he was on Fear Factor, because I remember like there was a clip of someone trying to physically attack him on Fear Factor. It was like a couple's Fear Factor.
Oh, I
and
heard
this
about that.
couple was like
Yeah.
fighting.
Yeah.
And then he said something, and then someone wanted to go for Joe Rogan, one of the guys, and Joe Rogan's like, I don't think you want to do that.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize the
Yeah.
guy can scrap,
Dude, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Gee.
He's a kickboxing, black belt, a black belt in taekwondo as well. He's to kickbox as well.
Yeah, and earlier on, when we spoke, so I still said to you, like, you never know who you're messing with.
Never know, man.
So if someone knocks at you,
Yeah.
you in a bar, it's just like, bro, it's cool. I can
Yeah.
look weak for now, but I'll live another day.
Yeah, I'll take the L today.
Yeah.
I'll
No,
take the
definitely. And I mean, it's not even like a real L, It's
Yeah.
just like someone might just laugh because now they've sort of dominated you on an ego battle,
Like
but that's okay.
I was in this lift one time. I went to this party, on a rooftop party, and I was with these girls, probably 8 girls, man. All like foreign. And I was in the lift alone with them, and these guys came in all drunk, and they saw me with them, with these
And they start
girls.
talking shit to you.
Exactly. And the girls were like, just leave them, because I know, like, if I do something, it's gonna escalate and the girls are gonna get hurt.
Oh, for sure.
So I just kept my mouth.
Like, what did they say, bro?
I can't even remember.
Just like that. It's just
it's
that,
like to
that
pick on me and-
energy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, who's the bra?
Yeah,
You know
kind
what I'm
of,
saying?
and
Yeah.
like kind of not get in my face, but it was going there, And we got out of the lift, but yeah,
You're
I
just
could
out there
pick that
trying
up.
to have a good time, and then someone comes and just being a dick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think there were like 3 of them also. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, bro, you outnumbered.
Exactly.
You see there, you
And
did
and
well.
I was in a confined space as well, and like if maybe like it's a
Anything pops
lift,
off,
right?
Bro, you get your ass whooped in there, bro.
Two punches thrown, right? These girls are gonna get hurt also.
Oh, big time.
Girls are gonna get hurt
Big
also.
time, the whole party spoiled. So
Yeah.
just let them have their moment.
I was
They
like-
drunk, they won't even remember you.
Exactly.
I
I can't even remember their faces, but I just remember the incident, and I decided to back down.
Damn, yeah, no, I've been in situations like that, but people have always like picked on me, I guess, because I've always been the smaller guy. But I think now that I'm older, I sort of like know how to handle it better.
Yeah.
But when you're in high school, like, you're in school and you're now on the field and there's like these bunch of guys on either side and you're supposed to walk through them, someone's going to say something.
Yeah.
Right? So then, you just keep quiet or you say nothing because you're going to end up in a fight and
Yes.
chances are they're all going to fuck you on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So, yeah, no, it's good. It's good to have that awareness because I think, like, for a lot of guys, the ego wouldn't be able to deal with it.
And I'm thinking that maybe like I almost don't drink. I can't. Yeah. So maybe if I was drunk, I would have reacted differently also, because the alcohol just makes you do some crazy shit sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. So maybe I would have tried to match their energy if I was
Which
also
wouldn't have been
inebriated.
wise, man.
Yeah. So
Wouldn't have
I guess
been
it's a good
wise.
thing I wasn't. I was sober at that time, so I guess.
Yeah, I think with any incident like that, there's no good ending. You either end up in hospital or dead,
Oh yeah.
or you end up in jail.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
dude, like I've seen times now where people get punched with one punch, they get knocked out, they fall on their head, hit the curb, dead.
Yeah.
Just because of one punch.
Oh, yeah.
Your whole life was fucked up because you wanted to have this
Ego battle.
Exactly.
I hate that, bro.
It's
Like,
so
why
ridiculous.
are we like that?
It's so fucking ridiculous.
Why are we like? I think, like, for a lot of those guys who are like that, I think a lot of them have unresolved childhood issues, bro. And that's like, I guess the next topic that I also wanted to bring up was like, getting the necessary like counseling or help that you need to work through certain things.
Yeah.
For example, like you remember with Suarez, right? He used to bite people.
Bite people, yeah.
Right? So you know what a child does when
Yeah.
like a child feels threatened. Like there's 2 children of like 5, 6 years old. They're like fighting. The one always tries to
Yeah.
bite the other. And I think like he might have had unresolved childhood
Bro,
issues.
that's a Mursa leap. How did you connect those dots? Like,
I don't know, but
and perhaps when people don't know, Suarez is a soccer player.
yeah,
Does he still play?
Uruguay.
Does he
I'm
still
not sure.
play?
Though. I don't think he played in this World Cup. Eh?
No.
No, they didn't qualify. What?
They didn't qualify. No, they weren't there. They weren't.
Yeah,
they weren't there.
Yeah.
But he was. Besides for his goal scoring abilities, he's also known for having these incidents on the pitch where he used to bite players.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, bro. I think like just generally, and I think with a lot of like I've even got like one or two buddies who I feel almost like they're living like in a warped sort of society or world. Like I was reading this thing of like signs when you emotionally immature, and it's like always got your back against the wall, always jumping quick to your own defense, always trying to enforce your opinions and your ways on someone else. So I see that with like some of the guys that I know, but like, and I still need to address it because the thing is, if it's someone who I consider like a very close friend or whatever, then I should actually like call them out on it, but in a decent and approachable way.
The thing is, man, like.
But are they ready to hear that?
That's what I was gonna get to. Yeah, there's not a lot of people who behave in that way, who are ready to take that feedback, that criticism, because they're all gonna take it as criticism. They're gonna feel like you attacking them.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go on the defensive, and then they're gonna start coming up with a whole bunch of shit like, yeah, but this and this and this, and try to defend the actions.
And you that, and you always like that, but I don't say anything to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a slippery slope, because that friendship that you deem as friendship, that friend you might deem as somebody who's close to you, you might lose that person just because of that. And
how do you tell them that they need to seek therapy for like working through their childhood trauma or issues?
Don't bring up the T word.
Yeah.
But mention, like, I mean, you can talk it out and you can say, maybe, don't even say speak to somebody, but you can just tell them, look, this is how you're behaving towards me. I don't appreciate this and this and this. How do we move forward from here? But don't mention to the person, yo, bro, you need help, yo. You need Oprah,
I mean,
Dr.
you
Phil.
can, even with someone that you're not that familiar with, like even in the workplace, you can tell how people react to meetings, how they email back, like certain tones that they use in the emails or whatever. You can tell, like, look, bro, this isn't about work anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's something else going on with you that you're bringing to work. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I mean, look, I've had like a few counseling sessions, but that is just to help process my diabetes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it does sort of come out in that thing, like, look, I was always a smaller guy, always picked on. And, as soon as I became an adult and a working person and I started earning an income, then it's like you overcompensate for it. And it's like, look, people used to fuck with me when I was small. No one's going to fuck with me now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's no need for me to have that energy anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to have my back against the wall.
That shit will eat you up, man, bro.
It will.
Because you're going to be in this angry state.
Will fester,
and you're going to be
chow
like,
you.
Yeah, exactly.
You sound like you know what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah, I've been there. I mean, I've always, like, before I started to gym, I used to be the smallest guy, skinny as fuck. People used to pick on me, get bullied and shit. And so I get that.
And then you gained weight.
I gained weight. I grew also because I was very short. I grew as well.
Yeah.
I started becoming more confident. I started becoming smarter. But when I changed my life, I changed everything about me, my lifestyle, the activities,
even the people you keep around you.
Yeah, everything changed. Like I became calmer, more relaxed. That resentment, that anger just went away, and I think the training also helped.
Yeah.
That was the therapy that I went through also because of the training. I got all that anger out with the weights or with the running or whatever the fuck I did. I processed through all of that, and I started to look more at myself and gain knowledge of self to understand what are all these issues, these resentment, and that's probably also went through that phase of why do I drink?
Yeah.
Why do I drink? Why do I want to escape all the time? Exactly.
Is it just to fit in with someone? Is it to be part of the conversation?
Yeah. Is it because my friends do it and I must do it and I don't want to be left out now of the circle?
That's when you realize, like, you need people in your circle, even though they're drinking their beers, you chilling there with your cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And they don't even look down on you for that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think, like, anyone I think any space that you're in where you don't feel good about yourself, or people pick on you, or like they make comments about your physical appearance, or the clothes that you wear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's not the spot we should be.
Yeah.
You know, or they make a reference to like material things and ask you like, oh yeah, but when you're gonna buy you a new car?
Yeah.
When you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Those things do not matter.
Yeah, those like you gotta recognize the toxic environment that you're in,
Yeah.
and make changes, bro. Because
And for a lot of people who are, sorry, but I'm just pricking my finger. And for a lot of
you can do
people,
it on the table. You don't have to hide that shit.
Okay,
Come
cool.
on, we're in the streets talking about diabetes and shit. I don't know why you out here.
yeah, I think like for a lot of people who also are like that, because their friends and families like that, it's just too. Someone lick it. It's just
Or
too.
they sweet.
Yeah, it tastes like blood. Yeah, little.
What's it
Little
say?
elevated 11.
11. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's okay.
Is
It's
it
because
okay?
I had coffee and I had a snack bar before I came to you.
Oh, does coffee have an impact?
Caffeine can. It can. It
Yeah.
raises your adrenaline also, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so-
Shit.
But listen, this is what I wanted to say. So like the people who are surrounded by that, they also sort of do that as a defense.
Oh yeah.
Because now they're in this environment now where they're only surrounded by material people. Everyone's getting a BM. Everyone's got, you know, what can I say, like Jordans or whatever, or like the latest suits or
Oh, yeah.
whatever, you know.
Look, there's
now
nothing-
they also need to fit in. It's all right to do it out of your own.
There's nothing wrong with having that, bro.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's just like you shouldn't put other people's down and make other people feel bad because they don't have what you have.
Yes, exactly.
You know, you don't know where in this person's you don't know where this person is in their journey.
That's true.
You know, you might have bloomed quicker than the other person, but it doesn't mean that person's not gonna get there. Or
Yeah.
or you don't have
Very
to put
true.
that person down. I mean, tomorrow can come and then boom, like you down there and that person will down on you, and then what?
Yeah,
Tables are
that's true.
turned and stuff.
I mean, even like with like friends who, you know, you get certain people who like to go out, and their definition of going out is like going to a wine farm, expensive lunches,
Oh yeah.
wine tastings. Wine tastings are reasonably cheap, but I mean the lunches that you buy are quite expensive. You know, it's driving out far, it's a lot of fuel. So I think a lot of friendship groups also sort of do that, and they must do something like that every weekend.
Oh yeah.
So then there's like an expectation of you. Then they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go there. But in the meanwhile, you need to think about your fridge and your
Oh,
groceries
yeah.
and your electricity.
Yeah.
So at the same time, you know, when you do invite someone to something and you expect them, you're saying like, look, we're all contributing. You should then have that familiarity and that openness to just ask them, listen, bro, you know, we're gonna do this. Everyone's giving 100 rand. Are you good for 100 rand? Because you never know someone's situation.
You never know.
You know, and I think like for a lot of people, like a big misconception is probably now because I moved house. Now the thing is like, oh, you've moved now from a small house to a bigger house. It's like you probably
It's
reach.
balling.
Yeah, but I'm actually worse off. You know what I'm saying? Because it costs more.
It costs
you know what
more,
I'm
yeah.
saying? But I mean, you're looking at the space, you're looking at the safety,
Yeah.
you're looking at,
Yeah.
and
But-
eventually it will kind of balance.
No, it
so.
will. But I mean, like, I don't know. Like, people, I don't know. There's a lot of people who
I
still.
like the topic of people, my bro.
Is-
It's so interesting.
It
to
is
me.
like there's a lot of people who still put or associate their worth to
Material.
material possessions. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so ridiculous. Like, I don't get it. Like, and a lot of people who feel like they have to flex just so that they show people this is what I'm worth, or this is what I'm on right now,
Yeah.
or
Gives the impression that they're insecure. Eh?
yeah, like a lot of people like flex what they have on the gram. Like,
Nah,
like
Gram is fake, man.
no, like of course it is, but I mean, I don't get that. I honestly like, and I see a lot of people doing things just because they want to.
And some people only post things, nice things. They
Yeah.
wouldn't like post like to give like the impression of their everyday life. They would want to give the impression that like, oh, they're sitting at Camps Bay,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and or they like taking a flight here. It's always
yeah.
like traveling, and flights, and nice clothing and wine.
Yeah,
And
I
it's very
took
fake.
I took these months off social media, and I was just noticing, and I was just
Observing.
observing, and I'm trying to think. I was like, wow, like you can
Social
see
media,
you can see like it's bad, man. It's so and a lot of social media, like you every time you post, every like you get, it's all linked to your dopamine, and that's how you become depressed, bro, because you
People
you
even turn
need
their likes things off their likes count.
yeah.
Because like if they posting this nice pic, then it'll say like Leiru and others.
And others, yeah.
It won't say like 11 others or
Yes.
12 others or
Yeah.
whatever, you know. So yeah, it's crazy.
Like I don't know, like I don't know if you know, but like dopamine is that
The feel good.
yeah, the chemical of more, the chemical of motivation. So now if you don't earn that feeling of dopamine,
Chase it all.
now you don't earn it, like for example, like after a workout, I'm gonna get that dopamine fix. I earned that because I went through fucking hell. So I earned that feel good feeling. Now you post a pic and you get that dopamine hit without earning it. It's just the fucking pic you posted. That's unhealthy for your system. Your system isn't designed like that. So the more you get dopamine that way, the more you overload it, you exhaust your dopamine.
Yeah, bro.
And that's how people get depressed and they have those crashes. And it's just science, bro.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I mean, like even for like religions, I mean, a lot of people they go to church chasing that religious high.
Oh yeah.
And now they're in church, and this one church now they don't get it here, then they move on to the next church and the next church and the next church. But you know, I guess that's something you need to find within, you know, your own spirituality and
it comes from within, yeah.
yeah, no, definitely, man. And on that topic, I mean, I think that's probably a part of me I also need to work on this year.
Going to church.
Yeah, not necessarily going to church, just like, you know, just spirituality and awareness and gratitude. Just, you know, especially like, you know, with the fact that like my folks are like, my dad's 71. Well, 72 this year, and my mom's turning 70 at the end of this year.
Holy shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, because for a lot of folks, like, you know, their parents are like, they turn 50 or 55, 60, and they like, yeah, got all sorts of health issues and stuff like that. Like, look, my folks got a bit of high blood pressure, and my dad had that accident in 2018 where he fell like through the carport. His head. Yeah, he was hospitalized for a month.
Whoa.
You know, but he pulled through. Yes, I mean, he pulled through probably because of his level of fitness. You know what I mean? The man's done like 22 Cape August cycle tours. Yeah, I mean, that's apart from the other, that burger and some mountain biking events and things, yeah. So I mean, for me, you know, that's something I gotta be grateful for, because I think just having both parents is like already a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at those things now. It's not like, I'm not looking at like my job that I have or the house where I live or like my income. Those things, look, there are, I guess, blessings, but there's bigger blessings that I think about that money can't buy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, having the good friendships that I'm in, not being in like toxic relationships right now, having gotten rid of that. Yeah. My English left me there for a second. So it's like those smaller things, man, that money can't buy. And, you know, having my nephews and they good, and, you know, my sisters are good. So that's like the kind of things I want to focus on in 2023. You know what I mean? More reading, less social media.
Yeah, like, man, like, we don't practice gratitude enough.
We don't, bro. We always look at what's missing or what's wrong.
That's the thing. Like, every morning, like, I wake up at 3:30 every fucking day.
Bro, I thought I get up early at 5:30. 5:30, you coming down the mountain.
3:30, I take a cold fucking shower. I get dressed. I have green tea. I'll meditate. I'll think about what my day was like before. I think about gratitude, being grateful for things that have a kind of come up blessings. I can't count all of them because I won't have time.
For sure.
But like I practice that sense of gratitude. I do mobility drills and I go to train. but I always have that aspect in my day where I just think and pause and just say, yo, like, fuck. I think about where I came from. I think about all the shit that I've been through. And I'm at this position now, like, fuck. Like, I should have been dead, like, but I'm here. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's sometimes hard to hold on to that when you're, like, in that midst of, like, your challenge. Like, it could be any challenge
you
you're
lose
going
sight
through,
of that at
then
times.
you lose sight of it, yeah.
Absolutely. And then you have to pull yourself back and you say, yo, like, slow down. Like, sometimes life gets so fast, man, bro. You don't even have time to take a moment to just smell the fucking roses, you know?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like, I think that gets me, like, in terms of that is, like, when, let's say, for example, you interview for a position somewhere and you don't get it. Then it's like for me, that's, like, my thing. Because, look, I've always, like, I feel like I wasted all my years, like, studying my undergrad. Like, you know, no shade on anyone who studied what I studied, because I did, like, BA, I did, like, a Bachelor of Arts, I did, like, sociology, I had French also with it, you know, but I feel like I didn't have a clear plan for my life. It's just like, I'll study this and I'll see what I'll do with it. But the best thing to do with those types of degrees is to get involved with academia.
Okay.
So you end up working for the university, you lecture, you do research papers or whatever, right? But I did that and I went out in the world trying to find me a job, and I, like, struggled, and I always came in at, like, these low level jobs.
Okay.
For like the first 2 or 3 jobs that I had. And then I think, like, I interviewed for my post where I'm in now, and then they didn't take me, they took someone else. But then that person kind of, like, stabbed them in the back and, like, fucked off after a month. And then they took me, who came second, apparently. So then all I needed was, like, that chance. You know what I'm saying? But it's difficult to do that when you, yes, like, I did my master's as well, but I did it in public health. Because I realized I'm not going to get where I want to be with arts. You know what I'm saying?
I remember you told me, like, you went through this patch where after you didn't get that job, you went through this low, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Because I had everything riding on that interview. And now, you know, you're like, fuck, like, my life is a fuck up. You know,
you went that far?
Yeah, like, you think that because, like, you realize, like, look, you put all these hours in, you studied this, studied that, you sacrificed this, you didn't go to this party because you prepped for exams. And then, like, but why? Because now you're not even getting. But then, you know, then, like, my mom or Heather would tell me, like, yeah, but look at how far you've come. But then it's hard to see, you know, the other opportunities granted to you or where you were. Because you've got this end goal in mind, man.
Yes.
You're not looking at the journey.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's why I go through life now, like, just enjoying the ride. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking, like, I have in mind what I would want to do someday or at which level I'd like to work. And what my purpose is, which is a whole other topic on its own. But, like, you know, I'll take it as it comes. Yeah. Because that's how you stress yourself out, man.
Yeah. Like, I think if you have this idea of your life and it's so rigid that anything that comes up that might be a blessing, but you didn't plan on that. And you push it away because you thought, no, I'm focused on there, I want to be there. But you don't recognize these blessings coming in this part because your path is so rigid, you don't see it.
Yes.
Like, I didn't know I was going to start a fucking podcast. This was never part of my plan. But I was open to the idea of doing this. And there's, like, even acting, I didn't even think I was going to be an actor. But I started.
You've got all those credentials.
You just open your mind to different possibilities, and you never know how your life could.
Rapper, actor, mountain stuntman. Did you do your own stunts?
Fuck, man. That's crazy. It's just like, if you don't open your mind to other possibilities, you never know what blessings you're gonna stunt, what your growth is gonna be stunted because you were so fixed and you were so rigid in these ideologies. And
I think I kind of, like, figured out why I was like that. Because, you know, with me studying what I studied and not having a plan for my life, now I'm the polar opposite. Now it's like, I just want to go this way. Fuck everything else. I'm going there.
Yeah.
I've narrowed my vision or whatever. You know, so I guess it's also okay to divert a little bit as long as you keep, like, a sort of idea in mind.
Yeah. Look, the end goal will never change. But on the fucking way there, bro, you gotta just take it for what it is. Like if there's something that comes up and you think, oh, this is dope, this is gonna help me, it's gonna make me grow in my personal life.
Yeah.
No, not even to my career, but my personal life. Yo, I'm gonna need this.
And that's actually why I also, I guess, like sort of slow down with making music as well, because in my spare time where I would usually sit, like, you know, try to compose something on guitar, try to play something on piano, try to write some, like a verse or something, like in that time I find myself like researching work in my field after hours, looking at what's the World Health Organization funding now, what are the priorities now, you know, what's happening with COVID right now, or you know, what are the other disease priority areas that we're looking at, so that I can be on top of it, so that, you know, on my way to my end goal, I'm informed.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You,
but at the same time,
basically you have more tools in your arsenal.
That was unhealthy for me, because I found myself doing that like a robot and not enjoying things that used to make me happy.
Yes.
Like you know me, bro, I love rhymes. I like writing rhymes. I like rhyming. I like, you know, even like making beats, even though like it's not a lot that I like put out there or make, you know.
Yes.
So I found like those things becoming an effort, you know, and and to be dead honest with you, like my passion for music has kind of shifted. Like I would more try to sort of learn certain things on piano or guitar than me actually making the effort to write a verse and like record a thing. Like I don't even know, like in my head now, if I even want to record the album. I've got the lyrics down, I've got the beats.
Yeah, you had that since what, the pandemic?
I've had it there. But I just haven't made the effort to like there's your mic stand. My mic stand is in the cupboard.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Whoa. Like, yeah, and my monitors are also in the cupboard.
Yo.
So it's packed
like
away. It's packed, yeah. It's there in the room where I sit and work.
Yeah.
But the room is just a home office now.
But that just tells you also your priorities. Like it's out of fucking sight. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
There's this
like I want to get more artsy, you know, I guess.
What's his fucking name, man? The Book of Five Rings.
So I'm googling right there.
Book of. I want to get to his name. Five. I don't get to his name. Meow. Oh fuck. What's his name?
Miyamoto something.
Miyamoto Musashi.
Miyamoto Japanese.
Musashi. Yeah, he's Japanese. Yeah. He's the samurai. I don't know how many sword fights, one-on-one sword fights that he had. He's an expert, and he talks about how to become a warrior, and he talks about being a samurai as not just doing only sword fighting. He talks about doing calligraphy and art and doing other things, and all those other things makes you better at this one thing.
Yeah.
So
right?
Yeah.
I get where you're going with that. Yeah, that's why, like, for me, it's like I want to get more in touch with my artsy creative side, because I must say, when I'm, you know, when you're in that zone, when you're writing and recording, I must say, like, in that time, all the stresses of work and life and that, just like, it sounds cliche, but it really, really, like, just leaves my head, and I'm solely focused there, like. And look, my goal with, like, shit, I touched on the mic.
No, it's okay.
My goal for, like, music is not to gain fame. It's also to, like, to kind of, like, put my thoughts on a track, you know what I mean, and share it with like-minded people.
Yes.
I don't want it to go to radio. I don't want to be famous. I don't want this one and that one to know me, you know, because that comes with other issues.
Yeah.
But
like
I want to explore the artsy side of me more, man. You know, I miss that. Like, UWC used to have these sessions where they would have, like, the poets, the rappers, or anything artsy, you know, you paint something and you put it on display. Kind of like what Jerome's doing with Expression Session.
Oh, yeah.
But that used to be in the Center for Performing Arts.
Okay.
So I used to perform there.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's lekker being in that crowd, man, because you feel it's a low-pressured environment. Whatever you say or present is going to be accepted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got
It's
you. Lekker,
that artsy crowd, and I miss that, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think it's healthy, bro. I honestly do. I think, like, even if you play a sport or have a hobby on the side, or, I mean...
something to break away from every day.
Yeah, it's so healthy, bro. Like, it's like like you say, like, everything, like, when you're busy with your arts, like, everything just, there's, like, no problems in the world. It's like you enter into a completely different world. It's like, for that moment, it's just this
Sure.
project that matters, and it's you and this project, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
everything disappears, and it feels so fucking awesome, bro.
It really does. It's a feeling that you just can't describe unless you're doing that same thing.
Exactly.
You know.
And one thing I noticed, right, a lot of the things that I actively was pursuing, and I said, I gotta have this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. The moment I started like actively letting go of that and just focusing on becoming a better version of myself, becoming better at my craft, just focusing on that, all those other things just came.
Came back.
I didn't
You
even
didn't put pressure on yourself.
exactly. I never even went out of my way to pursue those things. I just focused on being better, getting better, focusing on me and whatever I'm doing. And then those things just came. It's so fucking weird. It's like
It's very organic.
it's so exactly, but it's so weird. Like you putting all this pressure and I must go. I'm all out and I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get this. Here's my list and you know. But the moment you say, fuck it, you know, that's when it starts to come.
It's the same thing like speaking French, bruh. Like, so weird though, because like when you put pressure on yourself to like try to speak better, like if you're engaging with someone who speaks French, right? Then it's like, and you put pressure on yourself, you start forgetting these things. But usually, like when I used to drink, right, then I would like, if I have a dop in, then the French
it just flows.
better, man, because you remove that pressure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I'm sort of trying to find ways to do that. Like I'm watching like these Netflix series in French.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And with French subtitles as well, because I read better than what I speak.
Yes.
So that also helps. And where we live now, right, there's a spa around the corner. There are 3 or 4 Congolese guys in that spa.
Really?
Yeah, and even the car security outside. So whenever I go to spa, which is like 3 or 4 times a week, like a quick run or something, then it's a French interaction. It's
That's
a French
cool.
encounter, yeah.
That's cool.
So then I try to like say something different every time I go to them, and that's how I'm like rebuilding my vocab, yeah. Because that's one thing I need to achieve is the qualification. Because I've got the degree in French, right?
Okay.
But I don't have the internationally accredited certification. So there's 6 levels to it.
Do you really want that though?
I do want it because I want to keep the option open to move to a French-speaking country.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Canada or Congo or
Yeah.
Paris, France or
Or anyway, francophone.
Senegal as well?
Senegal, Senegal.
Ivory Coast.
As well, yeah. All like
Mauritius.
Western, Mauritius, Reunion,
Yeah, Union Islands,
or Comores even, or Seychelles.
Seychelles, yeah.
Yeah, they
Madagascar.
But I mean, like realistically, I think the main place I'll move to is either mainland France or Quebec. Quebec province in Canada.
It's like the main one.
Yeah, that's the French-speaking province.
Fuck, it's cold in Canada.
Yeah, I know. I believe so. Yeah, but yeah, man, and like you know, the only reason I would want to move is because of like the economic situation in the country, and it's quite dire right now, and I don't think a lot of people realize it.
Okay, fair. Yes, I agree with you. People don't realize it yet. I don't know why nobody has opened their eyes to it yet. If they haven't by now.
Yeah. You'll know if you're paying a bond, bro.
But also want to say that it's bad everywhere. The whole world is feeling it because of the pandemic.
Cost of living crisis.
All of like it's just everything was shut down. Everything's back up. It's like this yo-yo effect. Like it was inevitable to bounce back up, but I don't think people expected it to be this bad.
And I mean, apart from that, we've got our own unique sort of issues here.
Oh yeah, bro.
The energy crisis and corruption. I think the whole corruption just led to all the crises.
Oh yeah.
You know, in the country.
Yeah, there's so many. You can't even fucking keep track anymore. It's so fucking.
I don't even want to get into that. It's just gonna kill my vibe, bruh.
Yeah.
You see, I'm choosing what to argue about and what to talk about. I just want to stick to happy stuff, but I also don't want to be blissfully ignorant either.
I just want to speak of fucking, this fucking ants, bro. I don't know, like
ants.
Ants, like I've always got this major respect for ants. Ants are hardworking ants. Like they fucking build their colonies. They carry X amount of their body weight.
And they're prepping for the future.
Oh yeah, but fuck. When I was growing up, ants only used to go for sweet shit. Like, so, like, make sure the counters are clean. There's no, close your, let's say, packets of biscuits or whatever. Make
All
sure
that,
it's sealed but they're going for everything now, bro. Every fucking thing, bro. I'm so sick of these motherfuckers. Like, I don't know. These ants can eat a hard ball of dicks, bro. They are a different
man.
breed. I don't know if they evolved or
I
something.
think you need I just think you need someone to just come and spray, but
No, like, dude, like, don't look. I make sure like my house is always clean. Kitchen is clean. I go to bed.
But they come from outside.
No, like, look, I go to bed. Everything is no fucking ants. I wake up. You know my fucking dishcloth that I used to wash the dishes. They're on that motherfucker, man, bro.
There's nothing on there.
There's nothing on there.
Yeah.
Like, why are you here?
It seems, yeah.
And I'm trying to understand, like, why are you here? Like, because there's nothing here. If they even like, I see one or two on clean dishes, man, bro.
I
From the dishwasher.
almost dropped the area, but then I realized we're on camera. I can't drop your location,
Can't drop
bro.
your location, bro. Are you
Yeah.
crazy? In these streets out here.
All these fans trying to get a glimpse of you.
But I just wanted to put it out there that
Yeah.
that this get off my chest. These fucking ants are
Okay.
fucking
So that's
insane.
like your bad topic. You just need
Yeah, I
to
just
get over.
I just to vent. I just to vent. And like sometimes I'll see an ant carrying like a Mursa thing, and it's like way like way bigger than his body weight, and then I'm like, respect, bro, and I leave him because I was like, nah, respect that. It's a big load
Carrying a piece of biscuit.
or some shit. Like I'll be like, nah, respect that, and I leave him because I'm like, nah, he's a hard worker. I leave. I respect hard workers.
People gonna think we had a smoke break when the cameras off.
No, but I'm just fucking saying.
All these trippy topics.
Okay, and I let that ant go, but I was like, nah, I respect you, I salute you, and the ant go on his way. But anyway, that's my pet peeve about the fucking ants.
Yeah, bro. You know what's my pet peeve, bro? People who freak late.
Oh, is it?
Yes, bro. I get this impression like of laziness.
Oh.
And laziness is a pet peeve of mine. Because people can call me many things, bro. They can say I'm a dickhead, they can say I'm a this, I'm a that. But you can never call me lazy, bro.
No.
I'll always pull my weight when it comes to like either my work or my music. If I need to prep, like to play in a band for something, I think maybe I'm a bit reluctant for the training right now because
You want some?
there's no, it's cool, I got some here. Because there's no like, I would say there's nothing that I'm training for right now. But if I knew I was training for something, then I would do it and run all out with it. But look, another thing, a pet peeve of mine is either people who sleep late or people who become who become too familiar too quickly.
For the
I don't
familiar,
know if, familiarity.
I also have this thing about, not really a pet peeve, but I look at you being late as not having respect for me and my time. Like,
big.
I don't
and
mind.
you don't communicate if you are.
Yeah, and you don't say, fuck, I'm running late, this and this happened. But you just come here and like nothing happened. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, sorry, but I overslept. Or, I think oversleeping is the worst excuse.
That is terrible. That is
Bro,
terrible.
it's like, these pet peeves just get me, man. There was a few others that I was thinking of as well. Oh, people who, like, when they text.
Oh, yeah?
And they don't write the word out properly.
Oh,
like it might sound extreme.
I know, but it's true.
But don't use a you and are you.
Yeah,
are you.
I mean, back in the day when you send in an SMS, you were limited characters. I can understand that.
Right.
Now
exactly.
you're not fucking limited. Now you can type as much as you want.
You got an iPhone now with autocorrect or whatever, or any phone, with
even
autocorrect.
autocomplete.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's just it's lazy.
It's lazy.
Oh, and lazy. One more actually. People cut stop streets, bro.
Oh,
like if you coming up to the stop, right,
Yeah.
and people are turning right,
yeah.
They cut
in. Yes. I say, yeah.
When I was living in Kuils River, bro, there's something in the water there with those drivers. No shade to those watching who are from Kuils River and if they know they drive properly.
Yeah.
But there was just something about the drivers there. It was either they speed, either they jump red lights, or they freak on the road when there's no cars in front of them, or they cut across lanes, bro. Like if I'm coming up to the stop like that,
Yeah.
and if you're gonna turn right, then turn wide. Like, how much time did you save just cutting
Just by
across my
cutting,
lane?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's no need for that.
I just feel like that just shows people's attitudes, man. Their whole views on people, how self-centered they are, how unaware they are. Like, you know, they could cause a big accident like that. You
Yes.
know, and yeah, just generally ignorant, bro.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, that's also my sort of bad. Yeah, this is good, bro. Just getting all that out. You know?
Wait,
Yeah,
we
just makes me a calmer person.
Go back to your wife and you're all
Yeah.
calm, and she's like, "Yo,
Right?
what happened?"
Yeah. Hey, that's one thing, bro. When you've got a woman living here, you're gonna find that when you bump heads, and you know one of the two parties needs to have the sort of calmer demeanor, because if both get heightened
Yes,
like that, then
yes.
it just escalates to a
Escalate.
point where, like, yeah, your mom this, your mom that's, like, yo, we were speaking about me not picking up my underpants.
Now it comes
Like,
to
you know
childhood.
what I'm saying?
Now
Now
it comes
you-
to the way you were raised. Like what?
Exactly.
What?
Oh, man,
Taking
yeah.
shots at my mama out here.
Oh, that's the thing,
Yeah.
yeah. Nah, that's
You-
how I handle things. Though, if he ever gets like a little bit mad at me, and then I'm like, so what happened at work? Wow, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
I'll just be like, listen, I'm gonna sit outside. I'm gonna play my guitar, and when you're cooler, we can chat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But I think it's so important to be aware of your tone, and
Yes.
not just with like a spouse or someone, but
With
just like
anyone.
with everyone you
Yeah.
speak it to. Yeah.
We were speaking of Mike earlier, and you told me you changed medical aids because they actually covered, what do you call the
The glucose sensor,
glucose
the
sensor?
glucose
Yes.
monitoring
Yeah.
sensor.
'Cause
Yeah.
they cover like what is it, 80%, 85%?
Yeah, around 80% of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something I need to, obviously. I still need to get the paperwork in because my appointment's in a few days with my doctor. So
Yeah.
he needs to obviously register me, and then I can access it. Yeah. Was there something specific you wanted to know about it?
Yeah, like I want to know, like, is this a new thing that this medical aid is offered, or is it just one that you're aware
So
of?
you remember with the last video, so I still said we're doing like this campaigning for it
Yes,
and all of that. So this is
yes.
the only medical aid that bit onto it. Yeah, I'm not sure of I may be speaking under correction, but we've approached also the Council of Medical Aid Schemes. So if they change the law at the council level,
Oh wow.
then everyone else under them, you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
they must
Okay,
adhere
so
to that. Yeah.
so the petition actually worked.
Well, it
You
worked
got some
going
attention.
directly to them,
Yes.
but the other medical aids like all sort of like rejected it. So like appealing to that, we've gone to the yeah.
You want to mention names in the streets of who rejected, bro?
No, just look, the only medical aid that actually partially covers it now is Discovery.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have never thought they would.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
So they partially cover it. But the thing is, like, I haven't really been involved of late because 2022 was such a whirlwind year. You know, I did, like, in the beginning of the year, I did an interview on radio. And then I did a sort of a newspaper interview as well. So that was like the only thing that I did in 2022, but we're still waiting on the outcome. But since then, there's been a lot of movement in the diabetes world. There was like this conference that happened in Portugal, and we had like 4 people from South Africa represent up there, the IDF, International Diabetes Federation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they like on like a UN sort of World Health Organization level for diabetes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But that's good, man. It's good to see progress, bro. Cause I know you told me the last time like how much it costs and like how much is it now?
That's still the same. It's still $9.90. It
Is
hasn't
it?
gone to.
So imagine
hasn't
$9.90 every
escalated.
2 weeks
Bro.
for that.
Can buy yourself Jordans every month.
Every month?
Yeah.
But just explain to people like what this technology is and what it does for you and how it improves your life daily.
Yeah, so just like on a very simple level, usually when you check your sugar, you prick your finger, and like I did earlier,
Yeah.
then you get a reading.
Live in the streets.
Yeah, get it live, man. Lick the blood up and everything. But vampire shit, you know. Yeah, so like you prick your finger and then it'll give you a reading, and then maybe 3 or 4 hours later you'll check again. but you don't know what happened in between. So the sensor that, like, you know, wherever you put it, in your leg or in your arm or in your stomach or wherever's comfortable for you.
It's like a strap.
No, it's just like a little bit of a small little thin little hair needle, and it's almost like, you know, a stamp. So
Oh.
it's like you apply it like that, like
Okay.
like you click it in.
So
there.
you can wash with it on, you can shower.
Yeah, it's
so
the
it stays
adhesive
on.
is quite, it's tough.
Oh, wow.
It sticks, yeah. So that gives you, like, you know, the readings, like a graph, what happens in between, kind of like, you know, if you're visualizing a stock exchange thing,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
Bitcoin or whatever.
I've seen those graphs that you posted.
Right? So then it shows you what happens in between. And then it's nice if you want to figure out what happens with yourself, like overnight, or, you know, and there's arrows as well that shows you if you're going up or if you're going down, if you're carrying on straight.
Okay.
Ideally, you want to be carrying on straight, because dropping too fast or rising too fast, you know, it's not ideal. It's not really a stable picture. So
Yeah.
if you're going to be driving or hiking or whatever, you may want to pay closer attention to it. Yeah, so that sensor allows for that.
Okay.
It's really cool. It's definitely not a luxury. It's definitely a must-have.
A
But
life-saving tool.
yeah, but the reality of living in this country is how the government or public health system hasn't, I guess, prioritized type 1 diabetes enough. Even for private healthcare, they also haven't prioritized it enough. But if you think of it in the long run, if you basically cover this cost of this for people, then that means that they're healthier for longer, meaning there's less risk of them ending up in emergency rooms or being hospitalized, which will really chow the medical aid.
Oh, for sure.
So then the medical aid wouldn't even lose that money if you're looking at the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? Because people will be living healthy,
That's true.
you know?
I think a lot of medical aids are just thinking about the short term and not thinking about the long term.
That's it. And I think that's kind of like what the guys at the, you know, on the front line of this advocacy thing is trying to sort of convince the medical aid board, you know, on. So I guess it's probably going to take some time because they need to look at the data and everything.
Yeah.
You know, it varies from year to year, because next year Discovery can say, like, look, you know, we've been spending way too much of these census, we're not going to cover them anymore. It's not really making that much of a difference, as you said. So yeah, but I must say, like, I haven't really been in touch with diabetes again, and probably because, like, I've been in a state of apathy where even if my sugar was high or low or, like, not so lekker, like, I wouldn't really care too much about it, because you get tired, man. You get tired of managing the shit.
So okay, so you feel like tired, like, because of managing your sugar levels all the fucking time.
Well, not all the time physically tired, but, like, you know, sometimes in your mind, mentally, you know, how do get.
You feel like just exhausted of the
you
whole
feel,
managing.
Yeah, man, you didn't feel like doing it, you know.
Yeah.
It's it's hectic because you gotta, like, keep your eye on it all the time, and that can even exhaust you. Like, I think that's how a lot of people sort of develop, like, mental health disorders and things like that, because they just become tired and drained and always having to keep an eye on the diabetes is going nowhere. You're gonna have it for the rest of your life. You're gonna have to check yourself every day. You don't have one single second off from being diabetic.
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
mentally taxing.
Exactly.
Do you speak to Hilda about, like, if you struggle with, like, you're feeling exhausted?
I guess I do, but I don't think I speak to her directly about, like, diabetes being, like, exhausting for me. It probably comes out in my mood, because if you know I'm cranky as fuck, and she's like, just go check your sugar there. Go check your sugar there. Probably high. And then it is.
And then it is.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what some of the signs of high blood sugar. It's like,
but you don't, like,
snappy and shit like that.
But you don't, like, directly speak to her and say, you know, I'm struggling with this today. I'm feeling demotivated.
Well, I'll mention it, and then I'll say, like, nah, man, I'm not feeling so lekker today. I'm feeling tired now. Can that shit wait, or must I help you now with the cleaning?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? On the topic of being cranky with high blood sugar, remember the whole thing of the pit bulls?
Oh, yeah.
And the lady posting that thing about the black folks and how they must, like, all be killed or something. They mustn't kill pit bulls. It was in social media. Did
you say that?
So a white lady sent a voice note in I think, like, a neighborhood group.
Okay.
And she said, like, the people, what's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with pit bulls. They're killing up the pit bulls. And then she somehow went into off on a tangent and said, like, the black folks must be killed, not the pit bulls, because they just want to come, they want to loot and steal, and then
she said that.
yeah, she said that, and then they asked her, then they obviously called her out on it. She got into deep shit. I think she was even arrested for like hate speech.
Whoa.
Then she said she's diabetic and the sugar was high, and that was what was making her say those things. Right? Now, this is very important for the people watching. Diabetes does not turn you into a racist. Right?
Disclaimer.
Yeah, right? I mean, you get snappy, you get edgy.
You
because
can't claim
of
this
elevated levels.
bitch part of your clan.
Yeah, I mean, you may like really become enraged at some point. But if
doesn't
you
make you
are,
racist,
if that
yeah.
is who you are within your
In
core,
your core, yes.
whatever you are within your core, given the opportunity or the
Yeah.
trigger, will bring that out.
Fuck, bro.
You know, so it wasn't a diabetes or a sugar that made us say hateful
Of
things.
course not.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's
Fuck, dude.
yeah. But I sometimes use diabetes as an excuse, but not on such a extreme level.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, if you're at a function and you don't smaak to be there anymore, it's like, my sugars aren't so lekker, man. I need to bounce. You know what I'm saying? So, or like when people are braaiing and you know you're hungry, but your sugar's fine, right? And you're like, yo, must I wait for all this meat to be braaied? It's like it's already 8 o'clock. What time is mensen want to eat? It's like, listen, bruh, my sugar, my bro. Let me eat. Let me just grab 2 pieces of chicken and a salad there, man. You know? They're like, yeah. Then I eat, everyone else is waiting. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of
They are
funny.
giving away all my secrets.
How are you putting it out here in these streets?
Yeah, I know.
You made some notes. You want to talk about some of the notes that you
Oh no,
made?
I've already been talking about them.
Oh, you got okay.
Yeah, I got through all of my notes, bro. I'm actually at any other business right now.
Because the last time you didn't come with the books, I was like, okay,
no.
I'll make
No,
you
it was
prepared
just
this
things
time.
that I wanted to chat
Oh, you
about.
wanted
I
to-
didn't want to repeat myself too much
Okay.
of the last time. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think now. Is there anything that I wanted to like bring up or cover? But no, man. Yeah, I think like the main gist of this is just like, you know, since the last chat over the last 9 months, I've sort of gone through a whole awakening process, you know, and I don't want to sound like one of those Zen dudes right now, because I'm not like that, but you know, I'd like to think that I'm a bit more conscious about like, you know, how things I say to people make them feel, and that you don't have to swing at every pitch. You know what I'm saying? So if someone says something to you or brings up a thing, you know, you don't always have to attack them. You don't have to have your back against the wall. You don't have to engage in ego battles. It's okay to say sorry. It's okay to go for counseling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to show people how manly you are by, you know, opening your back and being stupid, like when you were in a lift.
Oh yeah, that situation.
ideal opportunity to show 8 girls like you don't take no shit. But you know, that wouldn't have been smart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's just like, yeah, and I always say like the animals will just take each other out, bro, because they're gonna encounter someone somewhere in a lift. They're gonna talk the same shit. Someone's gonna pull a gun on them and start shooting.
We hope that doesn't happen though.
Yeah, no, but I'm in an
It's a
extreme
possibility.
situation. Yeah,
It's always a possibility.
and I never
You don't
wish
know.
any bad on anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, bro. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something. Any tips for people who have diabetes or just to live a healthier life in order to control their sugar?
Yeah, no, I think like the best tip is like, I think just be kinder with yourself, man. Look, the thing is, when you're trying to be too perfect with everything, then you're just gonna create an expectation, and when you're not meeting those expectations, you're gonna stress about it, and then that'll send your sugar even more like, you know, off on a tangent and going crazy. So I would say, like, look, don't try to be too perfect. Get the basics right. It's okay to have an off day or even week or month or few months, you know. It's not too late to start making the changes, and that's even for non-diabetics who are just looking to live a healthier life. You know, if you weigh like 120 and then, you know, your goal weight is maybe you'd like to be 85.
Yeah.
You can't just go from 120 to 85 in like
A week.
a month or
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, you know. I mean, it's probably possible, but then you're probably very sick.
Nah, that's bad.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know, if you weigh 120, try to get to like 118. Try to get to 116,
Small steps.
115, You know what I mean? And I think like the same thing with diabetes. If your average sugar is like, if you're sitting on 10 or 11, like right now my average is probably like 10 because I've been having like highs.
Oh wow.
And I'm trying to get my average down to 8, but I'm first focusing on getting my average on 9 or sustaining the 10 without making it go haywire. You know what I mean? So it's just small steps. It's, you know, but I think there is some element of self-discipline where like if you already know you're on 15, then you know, I mean, I'm not judging anyone, but I wouldn't go and eat a slice of cheesecake if I'm already on 15.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna push me over 20, and when you feel pretty shit when you're above 20.
What do you feel like? Like, can you describe the feeling?
Oh yeah, no, you feel like everything is like blurry, your vision. You may feel a bit itchy on your skin because with high sugar comes dehydration, and yeah, your aggression levels may be up there, and you'll feel exhausted. Because remember, insulin in your body and keeping your blood sugar at a certain level, that facilitates your energy levels as well, because your body's absorbing it and converting the glucose into energy. Right? So with an absence of insulin, then the sugars just build up in your blood, and it's not being converted to energy. You know,
if you don't, let's say you're out somewhere and you don't have insulin with you, is there anything you can do?
Yeah, so look, I've already been in that situation. I mean, if you're not too far from home, go home and fetch your insulin. Or if you have extra money and you're close to a pharmacy, then buy like an extra insulin pen, which is quite expensive. It's probably over 200 rand now for one pen.
Sheesh.
How
many times can you use that pen?
Oh no, you can use it till it's done. Because there's something like...
How many doses is that?
I think there's like 240 units in.
Oh wow,
I'm not
okay.
sure.
That's not bad.
Yeah, 240 units, and you get... Let me just check. Yeah. What does that go to? 260 units.
Okay.
Yeah. 260.
Oh, wow.
So 260, but I'll take like 4 for a meal.
Oh,
you understand?
okay.
So I could use like a pen and a half in a month. I'm on a very low dose.
Okay.
But like, or you could focus on just eating the protein and the salads or things, cutting out the carbs.
So at that moment, if you don't have and you can't get access to a pharmacy, you can't, you don't have it with you, far from home, do you just eat protein then?
Yeah, bro. Order like three boiled eggs and have like your salad, green salad with it.
Really?
You know, it'll hold you. Yeah.
Okay, that's
It won't really have that bad of an impact. But look,
that's
everyone's
good to know.
different.
Yes.
But for me, that seems to work. Like if I wake up with high sugars, I'm not gonna go eat oats because that's gonna shoot me even higher. Yeah. So then I'll just do the 3.
Is that oats with sugar or just oats, normal oats?
Normal oats.
Really?
Normal oats, bro. Yeah.
Fuck.
Actually, I have to take quite a lot of diabetics don't do oats at all.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and yet people are pushing the narrative of oats. It's like,
Sheesh.
don't have Kellogg's cornflakes, have Jungle Oats. But at the same time, Jungle Oats spikes you. You know, I mean, the cornflakes spike you worse, but you know, Jungle Oats does also cause a spike.
There was this ad. You know, when you on YouTube and watch videos on YouTube, and there's ads. So one ad was Cocoa Pops, like enjoy a nutritious Cocoa Pops breakfast meal. And
What nutrition?
I was like, wait, don't do cock. I was like, how is this ad still allowed?
Yeah,
you know,
man,
like
that just make the kids go crazy. It spike their sugar up and then they crash.
There's
Yeah.
nothing nutritious about that shit.
Yeah, I think we weren't so conscious about nutrition when we were kids.
Oh,
we were just
no.
like, nah, this tastes lekker.
Of course.
You know, the chocos.
You see it on
chocos,
TV.
you eat just so dry out the
Yeah,
pack. Can you think how much sugar you were packing into your body?
You didn't even know.
You didn't
Didn't
know,
even
man.
know.
Yeah. And you're having like let's say you eat KFC and then you have like a ice cream with it and then you wash it down with a Coke.
Coke, you.
Coma level.
Bro. And you still get people do that today.
Yeah, man.
Grown folk do that. But anyway,
Telling
thank you
man.
for coming, my man.
Anytime,
Where
bro.
can people find you in these streets?
Man, all 952.
Yeah,
You just check. Can you make it like appear on the screen?
I can do that.
At all.
I should do that from now on, actually. So all 952.
I've just got Instagram.
Okay.
Any person using my pics is a catfish.
Exactly.
On any not that anyone will, but you know, someone did that with you, right? No. It was a different buddy of mine.
Oh.
Because he still said, like, you know, you made it out there when someone is using your pics for their
Oh.
catfish profile. Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it was my boy Jacob. Yeah, shout out to Jacob, my fellow type 1. Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Where can people find information on diabetes if they need it?
Yeah, no. I mean, like, look, I don't have any website of it, but they can feel free to just shoot me a message on Instagram, you know.
Okay.
But only if you want to know about diabetes or whatever. Don't try selling me no shit or trading. I just
Forex.
I'm not investing in your forex scheme.
Made it clear.
Yeah,
Made
clear.
it
No
clear.
forex and no bots.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
bots. Fucking bots.
Yo, bro, they're everywhere. But yeah, thanks, bro, man. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, we never run out of things to talk about. I was like, yo, because I feel like, you know, like with the first video, I feel like I did this with a sponge.
There's always something. to
But
talk
yeah,
about,
there's
man.
always something, man.
Always. But thank you, my man. Should do it again sometime.
Anytime,
I
bro.
wish you all the best for 2023.
Thanks, man. I think it's just a year of just chilling this year.
Okay.
Yeah, last year was the busy year.
Yeah.
Last year was the studies, the move, the job. This year is the normalizing year.
Okay.
I want to focus on my health, prioritize that, and like all health, like spiritual health, physical health, you know, mental health. I just want to become a cooler, calmer, functioning member of society, you know. And yeah, I just want to keep a low profile, keep my circle small.
And exercising.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. I might join you on those morning sessions, but I don't know. You probably there at 5.
Yeah, I'm there at 5.
Yeah, it shouldn't be an excuse.
Well,
Cool, thanks,
you,
bro, man.
All the best to you and your wifey.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, thank you for being in these streets.
Cool.
What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out? What you doing out? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? We in these streets.